Jesse, welcome back. Sunrise is back again after that short break. Now we're looking at discussing something that is close to the hearts and homes of a lot of Nigerians. A lot of us are concerned when we have to shout up NEPA because there's no light, or up NEPA because there is light. And that's in spite of the fact that there's no more NEPA in Nigeria. That way of speaking has endured over the years, and it's still going on. We now have PHCN. So it's a pleasure to have in the house today, live in our studios, the Minister of Power, Professor Barth Nnaji. Welcome to Channels Television Sunrise.
Thank you very much.
We will not waste too much time because there are so many issues that we have to look at. We just had the Secretary General, or the Chairman of the Union, Joe Ajero, who was here. And one of the issues we raised with him was the fact that the salaries of the members of staff of PHCN, we understand they were given, or they're being given, 50% increase in salary, and we raise this issue time and time again, and he insists that there are engineers within the PHCN who are earning as low as 5,000 naira a month. How true is this? Let's start from there, because that will be worrying if that is true.
Well, first, let me say I hope it's more of up PHCN, because power is improving throughout the nation. On the issue of salary, I cannot imagine anybody saying this sort of thing in this country. Which engineer will be working and agreeing to work for 5,000 and remaining in service? I mean, unless the person is in prison. So it's not possible. And that is the problem. The leadership of National Union of Electricity Employees consistently want to deceive the workers and Nigerians. For example, they tell them that when you are severed from workforce, that you will get 80,000. So after saying this for such a long time, we decided, okay, let's publish the salary grades and how much it will be. I even brought a copy of this for sure. It's in the papers. Now they're saying, no, why publish it? Because you are now exposing us to kidnapping. So the problem we have here is false information, giving information that's not really true, and coming out to act as if it is the truth. How can an engineer be earning 5,000? We have in this list here people who are managers or engineers. An engineer would be like an officer in the company. If they are severed today, many of them will be taken home anywhere from, just in their pocket, anywhere from 10,000 to 18,000, depending on how many years they have served. Sorry, million. And that amount is not including how much will go into their retirement account. That's what government is offering. But they insist that they be paid a lot more than that. Let me just go to the issue that is really their problem. It's not about salary, because nobody can even believe that. Not even somebody on WAEC that is employed to just do line tracing earns 5,000. And there's a minimum wage in this country. Everybody earns above minimum wage. Especially
casual staff within the PHCN, casual staff within the PHCN, do they earn more than 18,000?
Absolutely. More than, in fact, all the casual staff, by the way, have been converted to permanent.
All of them?
All of them.
Well, we were told by the secretary that even though they were converted, they were not receiving the commensurate pay. They were still being paid what they were receiving as casuals.
Well, that cannot be true, because the whole object of conversion is for them to begin to receive commensurate pay. So You know, these are all the frame-ups. By the way, one of a major agreement reached between government and NLC on Wednesday when they met with the Minister of Labour was that we pay them July salary in full without any deductions. And we directed that all the CEOs in the country do that. We directed immediately. Okay. We obey agreements.
Okay. You were accused, we were told that several ministers, including the current minister, were mismanaging the pension money.
Mismanaging pension money? Which pension money? Look, let me tell you about the pension money. They used to have a pension fund prior to the establishment of the 2004 Act. Mm-hmm. And for some time, I think in the 70s and 80s, they were diligently paying into the pension fund. They had funds, and so when people retired, they would, of course, retire with the amount.
Benefits.
But after a while, they stopped paying into this fund. The union members know this. They started provisioning for it in writing.
When did they stop the payment?
I think around 1991 they stopped. Okay, they started provisioning for it in writing because the more people retire, the more you have to continue to pay. So when they started provisioning, there was after a while, they were no longer having money. And so as at now, earlier this year and last year, when people retired, they would have to scramble to find money to take care of them. Because what they said they wanted to do in 2004, when the Act was established, was they wanted to have their own closed scheme, allowed in the Act. It's allowed in the Act. But you have to meet a certain minimum requirement, which means you actually have to have certain money to do this. But at that time, they were in deficit already by 80 billion. They were in deficit. They had spent
what year?
By 2004.
Yeah, but I beg your pardon, I beg to butt in. He said that the fund was administered by management of PHCN and the union. So yes, if you were both signatories to the account, how come monies were disappearing and one person doesn't know about how the money was disappearing?
No, they all know. They should be able to explain. I've set up a panel chaired by a retired Auditor General of the Federation. I've set up this panel because we want to know, Nigeria wants to know what actually happened with this money. How was it managed? It's all part of it. The people are not happy that we set up this panel. But we want to, we have to find
don't they want to know as well what happened to the money?
They're part of it. They are trustees of this fund.
So that means as trustees, the NUI and the Senior Staff Association of PHCN, they do know how this money was spent.
They should know.
They should know.
They should know.
They were getting regular accounts to update them.
Yes, they should know. The point is this. Let me just kind of complete. At 2004, they no longer had money to actually start properly the superannuation fund, which is the term of superannuation limited. That's what they call their own company. They couldn't operate it. But instead, they continued to operate the old condition, which was that 25% of total benefits would be put into the account. But there was no money. The union, the workers were not deducting. There was no money deducted from them, and the PHCN was not putting any money. So both parties just didn't do it.